This is presentation 4 in the GIT series, and the third presentation for the esophagus, third and last, prepared by Prof. Sharaf and revised by Prof. Hanisami. It will be concerned with esophageal malignancy. Esophageal masses could be leiomyoma, could be fibrovascular polyp and papilloma, could be inflammatory, carcinoma primary or extension, secondary, sarcoma as leiomyosarcoma, and last is lymphoma. Esophageal leiomyomas are typically solitary, and the CT shows the esophageal leiomyomas as well-defined round or ovoid masses of uniform soft tissue. This is the one. This is the one here. Either seen as intramural or eccentric, confined to the esophageal wall. It does not extend out the wall, and it is usually surrounded with contrast and thus appear eccentric in location within the lumen. Contrast enhanced CT scan shows that leiomyomas are homogeneous and show mild enhancement. Barium studies show the masses as well-defined submucosal with smooth surface to be differentiated from other lesions as the famous cancer and leiomyosarcoma, but rare conditions as hemangioma, lipoma, duplication cysts could also exist. In case of hemangioma, for example, contrast-enhanced scan shows enhancing mass and often phylobuli. In case of lipoma, you know the fat attenuation on CT. In case of esophageal cancer, CT shows mucosal origin of the cancer with destruction of the mucosa. There may be obstructive component, dilatation, or extension out. Esophageal leiomyosarcoma tend to be large and even often heterogeneous masses with a large exophatic component, and they are extending out and associated with ulceration of the surface. Esophageal duplication cysts can look similar to this appearance, but often fluid density on CT. Less common intramural lesion can look identical to leiomyoma, including granular cell tumors, fibromas, and neurofibromas. This is a solitary lesion which is large, coming from one side, and eccentric in location, surrounded with contrast, almost smooth. This is the appearance of a leiomyoma. This is the appearance of a squamous papilloma, appearing as protrusion inside the lumen, delineated with barium, so a smooth outline and well-defined margins, but it is connected to the surface at one side. A polypoid carcinoma is finally lobulated tumor that is superficially mimics a foreign body, but the stalk of the tumor is usually visible. A meniscus is not present. Meniscus means the margin of the tumor, or the margin of the lesion. Meniscus is only seen in stones. Fibrovascular polyp is smooth, elongated polypoid mass. This is foreign body. This is polypoid carcinoma. Fibrovascular polyp is smooth, elongated polypoid mass, usually arises from the anterior wall of the cervical esophagus. Spindle cell carcinoma is large, lobulated, mainly intraluminal polypoid mass, typically seen in the mid-esophagus, like this one. Dysphagia may be of recent onset, but would not be as hyperacute as dysphagia in most patients with food infection like this. But here the food infection is over a carcinoma again, short segment of narrowing with irregular margins and shouldering. Primary malignant melanoma is another rare tumor but mimics spindle cell carcinoma. This here is the example of an impacted foreign body or foot over a carcinoma with developing phrenic ampulla. Esophageal carcinoma sites are sites and types in differential diagnosis. The sites usually malignant stricture at the middle of the esophagus with either shouldering or rat tail appearance and irregularity. Most common site is the mid-esophagus, again with shouldering and rat tail, again with irregularity and small fistula here. This is just irregular outline of the mucosa. Any irregularity along the mucosa should be considered malignant or otherwise proved. Against some irregularity along the mucosa, which should be considered malignant till otherwise proved. Here is the varicoid type of carcinoma. Varicoid type of carcinoma, in which there is many irregular areas of wavy outline, seems as if tortuous but irregular, tortuous but irregular, in addition to mucosal irregularities, tortuous outline of the masses with irregular outline and incomplete mucosa. This is a varicoid type of carcinoma. It is something giving rise to an appearance similar to varicose veins, varicosities, esophageal varicosities. This is the esophagogastric junction obtained during double contrast upper G with a 3 cm long narrowing of the distal most esophagus. This is the area of irregular narrowing with irregular contour and the mucosal nodularities. So how to describe such a lesion? Narrowing, the length of the segment, the site of the narrowing, lower esophagus, the length is about 3 cm, the outline is irregular, definite, and nodular mucosa, yes, converting it into a narrow irregular lumen. Another one with narrow irregular lumen, rat tail appearance with shouldering. This is shouldering. And a third one, mid-esophageal or upper esophageal, pharyngo-esophagogram, shows a 6 cm ulcerating mass. 6 cm ulcerating mass is a long one. Thick lobulated rim of the tumor is seen as a curved radiolucent film defect in the barium and an elongated barium collection. This one denoting ulceration. This one is an ulcer along the everted edges, this edge and that edge, and this is the contour of the mass, which appears as irregular polypoid mass within the lumen, and there is mild dilatation above, and definitely there is pooling or pouch containing barium, which is the ulcer. Now, esophageal carcinoma can be distinguished from high strictures of the esophagus by the presence of mucosal irregularity and the presence of a mass or significant esophageal dilatation. So if we look here, there is definite mass. Narrowing the esophagus and causing irregular outline, but here the process is different. The process is just esophageal dilatation. Metastasis to the esophagus usually involve the subcarinal lymph nodes. Varices, of course, you know, varices cannot reach that size, and they are smooth surface, tortuous, longitudinal mucosal elevations. Now here is the esophagus. That's the esophagus. Esophagus. And at the middle there is leakage of barium, and the barium stopped here, so held up, and well held up of barium denote that it is in a small space. This is the ulceration into lymph nodes at the region of the carina. So ulceration into the carina lymph nodes can produce such an appearance. Here is another irregularity, oesophagogastric or distal esophageal, mid esophageal, distal esophageal, esophageal carcinoma at the middle with mass, and this mass is filling the lumen, and the mucosa is seen irregular, and here there is definite deposit, so denoting esophageal carcinoma. How to stage this? To stage this, that means if you have a tumor, you should search for the lumen, if it is invaded or if it is filled or not by the tumor, so it's still within the lumen, or the wall is invaded, or extends outside the outline of the esophagus, or it is send metastatic deposit into the liver. So accordingly we can stage the tumor. In sarcoma, it is usually endophytic, exophytic. That means that a part is seen within the lumen and a greater part is seen outside. Here you can see the soft tissue shadow around the mass, and the mass is inside, causing irregularity. And at the same time, the mass is bulky. It's a bulky mass. So a bulky mass with a regular outline, definite invasion, and soft tissue surrounding denotes that there is a sarcomatous process with endophytic and exophytic components are there. And according to the involvement of the mediastinal structure, the clinical appearance will be. Now here we have the similar to the varicoid type. These are the differential diagnoses that we can say esophagitis, we can say lymphoma, we can say irregularities of varicoid carcinoma, and so on. The main is for pathology. This is an upper esophageal lesion mass due to extension from thyroid. This is the spine, and this is the region of the mass in thyroid, but it is extending into the thoracic inlet to invade the esophagus. So a thyroid carcinoma can invade and esophagus can be invaded by masses from outside. And here is the another tumor, which is here pancreatic carcinoma, invading the esophagus by masses and by lymph node enlargement. So here we have large mass invading the distal esophagus and upper part of the adjoining part of the fundus of the stomach, but definitely you find the malignant characters as shouldering, narrowing, and red tail, and here is another irregular outline of the mucosa of the fundus, and very wide space between the diaphragm and the esophagus and the gastric fundus, denoting that there is a mass filling this area. So this can be an example of esophagogastric carcinoma, but actually it is a large pancreatic carcinoma with lymph nodes invading the esophagogastric junction. Thank you.